Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to transform these party favor jars into this. And these are Easter decor. And you can use these jars that you decorate for craft fairs or gifts for friends or to put in the Easter baskets. And the way we're going to do this is by using vinyl. Okay, so you're going to go and find some jars that you may already have at your house in your craft stash, and you're going to find some vinyl, and I hope you can follow along with this tutorial and make bunnies and grass in whatever colors you have, because really practice makes perfect. And I hope that you can follow along with me while we use both the software, and then we come back here and we cut the vinyl, and then I'll show you how to put these onto the jars and embellish the jars as well. So see you in the next part of the tutorial, where we will work with Brother Canvas Workspace online to get the bunnies and grass that we need for this project. Thank you. Hello. For this section of the tutorial, you'll need to log into canvasworkspace.brother.com. You'll see your username, there's mine, Paper Chef, and you'll see the current projects from Brother. So you're going to go down here to the little filter button, and you're going to filter out Easter. Okay. Now here are a lot of Easter projects that you can create, and the one that we're going to be working with, we're going to be taking parts of, I should say, is this Easter wall ornament project. Okay, it may not be in the same location depending on when you're searching, but you're looking for the Easter wall ornament project. Now, this project's made up of several parts. Now, if you're going to see, there's like letters and they hang up and they're eggs. Now, we're not going for that. We're going for these little bunnies. Okay, this is the one we want, the little bunnies. And so you're going to open that up using this button here. It says import parts. So we're just going to import them onto our screen and work with them. Okay, and it's giving you a little notification to say okay. And so now you're going to have the parts of this project inside your Canvas Workspace account. Okay, so first thing you need to do is just delete all the flowers, unless of course you want flowers, but we're not using any flowers for this project. I'm just dragging them, I'm dragging over them with my mouse, and I'm pressing the delete key on my keyboard. And then I'm also going to get rid of this bunny right here, the middle bunny. Oh, first I need to ungroup the bunnies. Okay, I can't select just the middle bunny because these bunnies are in a group. Okay, so to ungroup the bunnies, just go up here to edit, the edit menu. And where it says group, we're going to just click this one that says ungroup. Okay, now I'm going to click away, deselect them all, select just this bunny. See how I'm just selecting this bunny? I can move it with my mouse. I'm just moving it just to show you. Okay, now I'm going to delete that bunny because it just looks funny to me. And I like the other two bunnies. And plus, I only need 2 bunnies for this project that we're doing. Okay, this bunny here. Select the bunny that's tall. And that's going to be on one side of my jar. So I'm going to go up here to the properties, show properties. And I'm going to make it 1.75 inches tall. Okay, if I hit enter, then it'll change size, but you want to make sure that the maintain aspect ratio button is checked off, because I don't want to change the height of my bunny without changing the width in proportion. Okay, so that's good. I like that bunny size. Okay, now we're going to take this bunny and I'm going to select it. It's the bunny sitting down. I'm going to click on here, the properties again. And I'm going to make that 1.5 inches tall. Again, the maintain aspect ratio is checked off. Okay, so now I'm just hitting the enter key. And there's my bunny. Okay, now just go here, and so you have a bunny and another bunny. In fact, let's just make, I'm going to make 2 of each because that's how I roll, so let's make 2 of each. So what you can do is go up here to edit, and say duplicate. That's this button here, duplicate. And we're making 2 of each because I never just make 1 of anything. I mean, that's just a waste of time. You need to always make multiples if you're doing projects. Okay, go ahead and select the second bunny and go up here to edit and duplicate. There's also keyboard shortcuts, but like right now I'm just teaching you the very basics through the menus. Alright, so now we have the brown bunnies. These are going to be in brown, like the brown sort of cocoa color, okay? So now we need to take, we're going to make some grass. And let me just go ahead and zoom in just so you can see these cute bunnies in greater detail. I'm just using this zoom here. And I can just pan around with my mouse or my hand. So just there we go. I just want you to be able to see what we're up to. Okay, so these are the bunnies that we're going to be cutting out in vinyl. Now I'm going to go to border, and what I want is the grass. Okay, so we want the grass border to put around the jar. So select the grass. Now I want to move the grass away from the bunnies, and I'd like to do something to this grass. Okay, first of all, the grass to me is a little bit, I don't know what the word is, stumpy. It's not like fibrous enough. So I'm going to take it and stretch it. Now this time I'm doing it not in proportion. In other words, I'm stretching it so the grass is a little bit taller. Okay, we'll make it shorter in a minute, but I'm just showing you in relation to the bottom. I'm going to make it a little taller. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rectangle. I'm going to draw over this entire piece of grass and get rid of the bottom part. So let's go back here. I'm just going back to basic because I want a basic shape. And I'm going to select the square. Okay, and I'm going to drag it to make it look like a rectangle. Okay, so what I'm doing is, the overall concept is I'm just getting rid of the bottom part of the grass. Okay, so I've made a rectangle over the grass. Now, hold your shift key and select the grass and the rectangle. Okay, I've selected both. Don't select your bunnies. You're just selecting the grass and the rectangle below it. Okay, now go up here to the edit menu, and you're going to select this one here, which is just subtract. Okay, I'm subtracting the rectangle from the grass. Okay, so now I have grass in the sort of the shape I want it, and the bunnies were not affected by my little shenanigans. And now I'm going to go up here to properties to this grass, and this time don't select aspect ratio. I mean, uncheck that, because really I need the grass to only be about, let's say, 0.5 inches high. And let's see what happens to the height. 0.5 inches high, and I need the height to be about 6.25. I'm just saying from my jar, like knowing what's going to fit on my jar. Okay, so I'm going to say 0.5 height at about 6.25 inches wide. Okay, that grass looks good to me, and it's also like a better shape. I like the shape of the grass. I like the height of the grass. I'm happy with the grass, so now I'm going to duplicate the grass. I'm going to make 2 of those. Okay, and it looks better, I think, than the original because the way I stretched it a little bit. So just select it, and you're going to go up here to edit, duplicate. Okay, so now we have 2 little strips of grass. We have 4 bunnies, and let's make sure the bunnies fit in our, okay, good, they do. I'm going to fit them all in the most efficient space, because really when you cut your vinyl, now I just need about 1, 2, 3 inch piece of vinyl here by 5 inches. Let's put this bunny over a little bit. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just drag it. Okay, here we go. Put the bunny over a little bit. We have a 5 inches by 3 inches piece of vinyl here, and then we have about a 2 inch by 7 inch piece of vinyl we need over here. We need 2 different colors of vinyl. We're going to use green for the grass. Okay, I'll show you that in just a minute with the machine. So now, your last step is to save the project and download the project. Really, you should have been saving the project all along. Give it some kind of name like, you know, bunnies and grass, right? You want to give it a name, and you want to, first of all, just say overwrite this project, which is the way of saying save this project. Now I haven't put it on my machine yet. Now I have the project in Brother Canvas Workspace. Now really I should have done that the very first step. But you should save your project along the way. Okay, so now we have our project on Brother Canvas Workspace, but we need to put it on our machine. So you're going to hit this download button. And your choices are, do you want to download it to your PC or do you want to download it to ScanNCut Transfer? So the reason I'm using ScanNCut Transfer is because I have wireless activated on my machine. If you don't, you have an extra step. First, you'd have to put it on your machine, download to PC, and then you'd have to put it on the USB thumb drive, and you'd have to retrieve it that way. But in our case, we're just ScanNCut Transfer through the wireless. And that's it. So now it's ready. I'm going to go to my machine. I'm going to retrieve it. So I will see you in the next video where we will cut out this vinyl for our bunny jar project. Thank you. Hello crafty friends and welcome back. I have already placed my vinyl onto the Brother ScanNCut mat. I have a 3" by 5" piece of vinyl. This is by Cricut. This is Cricut brand vinyl, but you can use any brand of vinyl you want with the Brother ScanNCut. I know that's a common question I get asked a lot. And then this green vinyl is Brother ScanNCut vinyl, so it's from the company, and it's the same really. I mean, they're the same thickness. Okay, so that's on this side, and this piece is 2" by 7". And now what you do is you take your brayer, if you have a brayer, or just give it a good rub and make sure your vinyl is stuck on the mat. And you should use a really sticky mat for this too. Vinyl tends to want to come off the mat because if it was on a roll, it tries to take shape again. So you could always leave it on a book or something to make it flatter before you try to use it for your project. All right, so my vinyl's loaded. I'm going to put one hand in the Brother ScanNCut like this while I load the mat. I'm going to turn my camera up so you don't miss any steps now, because you've stuck with me this long. We've done the software, and now, so what's going to happen right now, let me explain what's happening, is I'm going to load the mat, and we're going to do our cutting our vinyl now using the project that we're going to retrieve from Brother Canvas Workspace. That's what we're doing. Sorry, my little camera's shaky. Okay, so loading the mat. And that was a little bit of crooked. I already know it was crooked. Even, remember I was telling you to put your one hand on the mat. Okay, all right, so load the mat. Now, I'm just gonna get all this stuff out of the way first. Change your blade depth. We're using vinyl, so the blade depth should be 1.5 with a standard blade, okay? And that'll give us a kiss cut. It'll cut through the vinyl, but it won't cut through the back of the vinyl. It'll just cut the top. Now we're gonna go to pattern. We turn on our machine, we go to pattern, and we're gonna use this button here. Very important. Let me get my stylus so my fat finger's not in the way. See this one? We want this. And it is the picture of the cloud and the machine. We're going to get our file from the cloud, okay? Because that's where we saved it. And then there's our bunnies, there's our grass, and we're just gonna say okay, and we're gonna cut it. And we're gonna cut it again. Now, if you had used a thumb drive, maybe a USB stick, then we wouldn't have retrieved it the same way. So be sure to check out my tutorials on different ways to retrieve files. I cover this in my classes as well. Sorry it's very loud. I'm just going to go ahead and come back in a minute. Okay, crafty friends, I don't want you to miss anything. All I've done was unload the mat, and I pulled the piece of vinyl off of the bunnies. So that's just called weeding, when you just kind of, you pull the vinyl off, but you leave the backing. Now remember, we did a kiss cut. That means that we only cut through the top layer of vinyl, but not the backing. So we'd only cut through the plastic, the vinyl part. So I'm just going to peel it off. And now what you have is, you have my grass and I have my bunnies. Now these pieces, while they could be used for crafts, like, maybe you could use them for something else. I just usually use them to clean up my craft room. So you got all these little sticky pieces, and you can go around cleaning up your glitter and your dust before you throw them out, right? Because this is good stickiness. All right, so now we have the bunnies and we have the grass. And then I'm just going to use them as stickers. Now you could use, what I want to show you is you could use something called transfer tape. Okay, this is something I got from Cricut. It's just low tack tape, so you could use this if you're working with big pieces of vinyl, and you just put your, I mean, I'll just use it once just to show you, but I normally wouldn't use it for such a small project because it's overkill. So you do is lift up your sticker with the transfer tape. Whoa, I caught my grass. I did not mean to catch my grass. Okay, so you have a little sticker, and now you've picked it up and you can put it on something like our jar. Okay, so here's our jar, and we're going to put the bunny on the jar. And the nice thing about transfer tape is it has like grid lines on it, so it helps you line up your items. I'm putting the tall bunny on this side of the jar and not on this side of the jar because he would be blocked by the metal piece. So the tall bunny that's standing up is going to go on this side of the jar. And you just give it a rub, the transfer tape. But like I said, these are such small stickers that I don't really need that because I could have just done it without that. In fact, it would have been a lot easier without that. But I was just showing you what it is because, you know, I have that. I do teach all about this in my courses, but I want to show my crafty YouTube friends. And then you just smooth out your little bunny. Get rid of all the little, now he's on an angle a little bit, so he's going to take a little smoothing to get the little bubbles out. And you might have to lift him a little and let him gently fall. Or you might even replace him. You might even move him to where he's on a flatter. The farther down, the flatter the region of the jar. Okay, but I'm happy with them because I mean this is really fun and it's for Easter, and I think whoever gets this is going to be very happy. Okay, so now I have the bunny on the jar. Now let's put this small bunny on the other side of the jar. And like I said, it's just a lot easier to lift up with my fingernail. See? Look how much easier that was without the transfer tape. And see, you just smooth the bunny right on there. So let's go ahead and do that too. The second jar, I put the bunnies on first because then the grass goes like in front of the bunnies. You know, like they're kind of sticking out of the grass. So here we go. And I just came up with this project today. I was like looking for bunnies that would, I was trying to look for like chocolate bunnies, like silhouette bunnies. And this is when I found these. And I said, oh, this is going to be cool. Okay, so I like that bunny. He's like a silhouette. And this is the kind of bunny I was looking for. It's like, I like when it looks like the chocolate bunny. And you'll see because my stamp set has a sentiment that has to do with that. And every jar can have its own little personality. The bunnies don't need to be in the exact same spot. Now let's go ahead and put the grass. So you just peel the grass off. And try not to get it all tangled up. And you just start on one side. And you kind of start in the middle. And hold it with two hands like this. And I mean, working with vinyl is just like working with stickers. We're all crafters here. You've done similar things, I'm sure. You've worked with stickers. So they're just big stickers is all they are. No mystery here. Vinyl is big stickers. And you just roll it around, and it should overlap a little because the size I made it. But again, whatever jar you have is the size of grass border that you need. And whatever size, you know, the height is relative to the size of project you're using. All right, so I don't want it to overlap that much, so you get your scissors. I'm going to cut off the little bit of overlap. Okay, because I don't want the grass to overlap too much. Okay, so I'm happy with my grass and smooth that out. So we got one jar done. Let's have a better background here. We're going to move these onto the table. Move these onto the wood. All right. Bunny, grass. I love Easter. I really do. It is so much fun to send Easter baskets. Okay. Because everybody thinks of spring as sort of like a renewal, you know, the whole life. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to cut that little extra piece off. And I could have had it overlapping on the sides, but it doesn't matter. I mean, this is all good. It's a craft. It's so cute. It doesn't really matter. Because you know what? Like, if someone wants to take your jar, because these aren't permanent, they can take the jar and they can redecorate it. So when you send it to crafters. But my family, they're not going to redecorate it. They'll probably sit it there all year long. They're definitely not redecorating it, except maybe my sister. She's very crafty. Well, all my sisters have some kind of crafty talents, whether it be sewing or crafting. Okay, so there you go. So now I buy ridiculous amounts of jelly beans. Let me just show you my ridiculous amount of jelly beans. Okay, I buy jelly beans in bulk. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill my jelly beans into my jars and show you how I decorate these. Because you gotta put the jelly beans in first, because I tie the string right along the top, and I just want to show you not to put too many. Okay, don't put that many in, because this thing goes down and it'll squish them at the top. So always get rid of the last couple at the top. Like leave a little bit of room. Here, just leave. There you go. Leave a little bit of room. That way when you put this little stopper in to your jar and you push down, you're not squishing the top jelly beans. There's a little rubber stopper. Oh, I'm already loving the colors and everything. And then we're just gonna, last step is, I made tags with the Brother ScanNCut, and I'll definitely put the measurements in the description of like the length of the tags, but really, it all depends on your stamp set. Because the stamp set I'm about to show you that I used is retired by Stampin' Up. It's meaning you can't even get it anymore. So it's all gonna depend on the stamps you have for this project. Just use whatever is in your craft stash. Okay, that's good. See, don't put them too close to the top. I'll have a link to all of my materials that I use for this project. All right, so now we have that, and let's just show you the finishing touches. So I've already done, and as you know, when I make things, I always have like all the pieces already cut out. So I've already done the stamping. So let me show you what I used. I used this stamp set. And I've done tutorials on this one here. I think it's in here. At the Brother ScanNCut, I've shown how to cut out the inside of that basket on one of my, I think that was last year's video around Easter time. So be sure to check that out. But this is called Basket Bunch, retired by Stampin' Up. So I used this egg on top. Okay, so I'm showing you what I did here. Those eggs on top, and I colored them in with Stampin' markers. So you just take a piece of string, yay big. I'll just do one of these just to show you how to put the tag on. And whatever tag you have, whatever, you know. So you take the little egg, you put that on top of your jar. I'm just putting that on first. I'm using dimensionals, just little foam dimensionals. I have lots of these made because I'm gonna make like a whole box of these jars. They're gonna be ready to go. So you put that on top of your, so let's see which side I made the front. Doesn't matter, but I think I have, yeah, the tag I have coming off this side. So the tall. So let's put I'm gonna put the eggs going the same way. Okay, so the egg is on top of the jar. Now the egg, my crafty friends know how to do this. You take your egg, you use the Brother ScanNCut to cut out the stamped images, and then you color those in. Okay, so I just used the string. I took the string and I wrapped it around, let's get rid of this, the jar. That's what I did, I wrapped it around here. So it kind of goes around the top, see? So what I did is, this part is indented because of the little rubber stopper, so it was really easy to tie a knot around that part. I tried tying the knot on the metal, it did not work. Let me just go ahead and tie a double knot, because I don't want this to fall off. But I tried tying it around the metal and it slipped right off, and I tried tying the knot in different places. So that's what I found worked. And then I put this little tag, which I cut with the Brother ScanNCut, and your extra special. And that is a sentiment from this basket bunch set. And I used Highland Heather. Hey, I used a current product from Stampin' Up. That Highland Heather is a current color. And so are all the little markers I used. So I tied a little knot, and that's how you get your little sentiment on there. And I'll just show you that. And that's how we're wrapping things up. So I used Highland Heather. I'll put all this in the description. I used Flirty Flamingo, Pineapple Punch, and Lemon Lime Twist for coloring in the eggs, because I think they matched the jelly beans that I buy in bulk. Voila, let's admire our work. This one needs an egg. Okay, so I hope you were following along, and I'd like to hear if you created something with this tutorial, and please let me know in the comments if you did and how you liked working with vinyl. So that's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. See you next time.